think a lot of women realize just how many muscles are used during the pushing process. Even your eyelash muscles, if eyelashes have muscles, are involved in the pushing process. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you find yourself across this beautiful world. Welcome to Nurse Onyi Teaches. My name is Onyi. If this is your first time here, you are most welcome. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you for stopping by again. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already, and turn on your notification bell so that you are made aware of every time a new video is uploaded. Now, in today's video, I am going to be discussing some of the things that a woman may find strange occurring in her body after she's given birth. So a lot of women think that right after you give birth, everything is over, your body is back to being yours, but that's not always the case. Today's video will discuss 5 changes that surprisingly a lot of women experience in their body. And without further ado, let's jump right in. Just a quick disclaimer before we jump into today's video. Make sure you do not use this content to diagnose yourself. Work with a healthcare provider that knows your personal history so that when they make a care plan, it addresses your particular need. Now let's go. One of the first changes that moms will notice in their body right after giving birth is that you do not stop having contractions. When you are in labor, your body is having these big old strong wave-like contractions to help you get your baby down and out of your body. Well, after you give birth, your uterus does not automatically go back to its pre-pregnancy size. No, it's going to take your body about 10 to 14 days to get that uterus back to its normal size that it was before you even got pregnant. And what your body is going to use to achieve this is some more contractions. Now, granted, those contractions should not be as strong as they were while you were in labor, but they certainly are there. Now, if you breastfeed, you will begin to realize that contractions can intensify. Breastfeeding stimulates oxytocin, which is the hormone that causes your body to have contractions. So when your baby latches onto nurse, those hormone surges causes your contractions to get stronger, and they even last a good little bit. So moms who breastfeed will deal with stronger contractions than moms who do not breastfeed. So keep that in mind. Also, if you have had a baby in the past, keep in mind that your body has to work a lot harder to get your body back to its pre-pregnancy uterus size. So women who have had babies before will have stronger postpartum contractions than women who are having babies for the first time. Your body's got to work harder to get you back to what it was before you even started having any babies in the first place. Now, with each passing day, those contractions will increasingly get weaker and weaker. And eventually, after a couple of days, your body won't even feel them at all. So be encouraged, stay strong, know that these contractions are working with your body to get it back to what it should be. Another surprising sign that a lot of mothers deal with after they've given birth is that they sweat a lot. Increased perspiration happens because your body is now trying to re-regulate the hormones that supported pregnancy, along with dealing with a higher volume of blood and fluids within the body. Now, as your body begins to work this fluid off, what it's going to do is push it out through your pores, increase the amount of urine that you've got to get rid of through peeing. This situation can be so dire that some women find themselves soaking their bed sheets, their pillows, their clothes, and waking up in a very moist situation is not something that women find comfortable. So some things that you can do to help you deal with this situation include dressing lightly. As long as you are comfortable, you do not need to overdress yourself. You can also lay like a bedding pad to help you catch the moisture if you do not want to constantly change your bed sheets. Make sure that you are taking your shower. You can even use powder to help keep your skin nice and dry and keep yourself smelling good. But know that perspiration eventually does go away. Now, for a lot of women, it's really bad in that immediate postpartum period, especially if you've had more than one baby before. For many women, it will peak right around the 2nd week of giving birth, where they really think, oh my goodness, I am sleeping in a lot of fluids. And then it can persist for upwards of 6 months after giving birth because it takes your body a while to re-regulate those hormones. The human body does not recover too quickly after giving birth. Remember, it took you 9 months to carry a baby around. It's going to take your body some time to make sense of what has happened postpartum. So make sure that you follow these tips in this video to help you manage excess sweating pregnant. And if it continues to bother you or the volume is too much for you to bear, talk to your obstetrician, talk to your gynecologist. They may be able to recommend some more tips for you or just move forward on how you can better self-care for yourself. A third change that many women experience in their bodies is the weakened or completely absent sensation of their bowels or their bladder. When you are actively pushing your baby out, your body works with you to maximize the amount of space that baby has to come out. In order to do that, some organs, some muscles, some tissues have to be pushed out of the way. And unfortunately, one of those things that gets pushed out of the way is a woman's bowels. So your large intestines will be compressed, almost flattened, so that baby can have room to come out. And then your bladder will also be pushed up and out of the way so that it's not in the way and, baby has enough room. After a woman gives birth, the nerves in the bladder and in the large intestines or the bowels are weakened, so their sensations are not as pronounced as before. What that leads to is that most women don't even feel the need to either go pee or even have a bowel movement. Now, it's very important that even though you are not feeling these sensations, that you still go to the bathroom and sit there and try to have a bowel movement or release the urine from your body. If you hold on to pee after you've given birth to your baby, there is a chance that your bladder will get overly full and distended, and a distended bladder will push your uterus out of the way. With your uterus misplaced, it will become flabby and it's not going to stay nice and firm like it needs to be in order to return back to its pre-pregnancy size. Also, if your uterus is flabby, there is an increased chance that you will bleed because your uterus needs to stay nice and firm and tight to keep all those blood vessels that were damaged along the way from releasing too much blood. If your uterus is bleeding and you're losing too much blood especially in the immediate postpartum period, then you may run into some complications that you don't want to deal with. Where the bowels are concerned, if you retain poop for so long, I've mentioned this in a couple of previous videos, one of the things that your colon knows how to do very well is to pull fluids out of your poop. So the longer poop sits in your colon, the drier and more impacted it becomes. And if you try to have that bowel movement days after you've given birth, honey, let me tell you, it's going to feel like you are having another baby without the reward. So right after giving birth, make sure you stay very well hydrated. You are going to need it to restore all the fluids that your body is losing. Make sure that you increase the amount of fiber that you have in your diet. Fiber will help your body keep your stools nice and soft, help to regulate your bowel movements, and then that fluid that you are drinking will help your body expand that bowel out so that it's not compressed and you can pass it easily. Also, make sure that you get up and walk. Sitting around, I know a lot of women are very tired after they've given birth. As a matter of fact, the next point addresses that. But sitting around increases the likelihood of dealing with constipation. So make sure you get up, take your baby in the little hospital bed. Make sure you're not carrying your baby because you don't want your muscles to just give out on you. Put your baby in the hospital bed and take a short walk. That will help your bowels to move easier. That will help you to start gaining back the sensations that were lost while you were pushing. And that can even help your body as you recover and transition to what you were before you got pregnant. Now, this next postpartum finding is one that shocked even me. When you are actively pushing out your baby, I don't think a lot of women realize just how many muscles are used during the pushing process. Even your eyelash muscles, if eyelashes have muscles, are involved in the pushing process. And a lot of times, if you are a first-time mom, you don't know how to push well. So you definitely exercise a lot more muscle than somebody who knows exactly where to focus their energy. After you have done all of that pushing, you will experience some very sore muscles. I remember the day after giving birth, after my body had settled down, kind of get comfortable after giving birth, that I tried to get up. And it wasn't that I was dizzy or that I was feeling like I was faint. No, just getting up and feeling pain in my shoulders, in my knees, and in my thigh. I was incredibly sore that I thought I was going to fall. Your muscles are going to be sore because labor and delivery requires hard work. So when you go to get up out of bed, make sure you do it in steps. First of all, sit up in the bed, give yourself a couple of seconds to get yourself collected. When you get up, hold on to the bed, push up and stand. What you are doing while you are moving slowly and gradually is gauging just how sore your body is and what needs to be adjusted and how much adjusting needs to be done to it. And then when you go to take your first few steps, number one, make sure somebody is there to help you. And if nobody is there, have like a corner table or a pole, use your IV pole, something that can support your weight. And then walk carefully, but walk. Sore muscles will begin to subside or go away within the first couple of weeks after giving birth, but may take a little while depending on just how much force you exerted while you were pushing. So give yourself some time to recover and be easy and gentle on those muscles. Now, last but not least, one surprising change that a lot of first-time moms experience is that their bellies don't always go back to nice and flat after the baby is born. Your stomach stretched for 9 months. It's going to take it some time for it to go back to your pre-pregnancy size. I remember after I gave birth to my first child, I looked down and disappointment is the best way for me to say it. I was absolutely mortified that my belly was not back to, I don't know what I was expecting, that my belly was not back to what it was before I took in for my first child, and that it was going to take some exercising and work from my part to get it back to normal if I wanted normal to even get back to, restore your body. So first of all, keep in mind that it may take your body upwards of 6 months to a year before you get back to even a decent sized stomach. Most first-time moms have it easier going back to pre-pregnancy size than moms who have had babies before. Give your body some time. You're carrying around a lot of fluids, like I previously mentioned, and those muscles are tired and they stretch. So they're going to need some time to get back to your pre-pregnancy size. Now I'm going to stand up here and I'm going to demonstrate what my postpartum belly looks like after 4 babies. No, I'm not going to whip up my shirt. I'm just going to show it against my profile. And this is very realistic for a lot of moms. Now, I exercise, I stay nice and healthy. I've just started eating healthier, but the more children you have, the more separation in the muscles in your stomach that you're going to experience, and the harder you have to work to get your body after giving birth back to your pre-pregnancy size. So be patient with yourself. You've done a great work. Pregnancy and birth is very tasking on a mother's body. Give it respect and know that with time and dedication, you too can go back to being a normal size within your body. Now, without further ado, let me show you what my postpartum body looks like. So as you can see, I'm going to adjust this camera here a little bit. I still have somewhat of a little mummy pouch after giving birth. And this is after 4 kids. Now, keep in mind that this is not going to be typical for every woman. We all have different body types, body shapes, different genetics. So respect your body, love the body that you are in. Congratulations on giving birth. And if you haven't given birth already, these are just things for you to keep in mind so that you are not too shocked when you get to the point that you have finally had your baby and you're realizing these changes in your body. Now, if you have learned something from the content of this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, give it a like, and then share this video with somebody you believe can learn something from it. And if you have not done so already, make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell, join this growing community of empowered learners who are active participants in their own healthcare. And until the next video, I wish you safe, sound health. Be blessed.